Hello.
Good morning, Kwasi. It is pretty difficult in some parts of the country. It's not universal, but it looks like it's going to get worse. How much worse do we think it is going to get for businesses, supermarkets, up and down the country?
Look, I don't think it's going to get necessarily going to get worse. It is a challenging situation, but the rules that we've set out, I think, are very clear. We've said that if you are pinged, you should self-isolate. Now, those restrictions will be lifted on the 16th of August, and that's where we are. Obviously, there's a huge amount of pressure. I speak to businesses all the time who are telling me that of all the concerns they have. I think you will hear lots of reports of possible shortages. We're reviewing all of that information, but the rules are very clear for now.
In saying that, you say things might not get difficult, but we're hearing from M&S this morning that they are saying by the middle of August they might have 1 in 5 staff not in store. That means store closures. It means supermarket shelves potentially empty. I mean, frankly, we all know where this is going. We all know it's really difficult. But shouldn't the government be drawing up a list of exemptions and drawing them up now?
So in terms of the so-called list of exemptions, we are coming up with guidance which applies to specific sectors. Now, I don't think people should be getting their hopes up in terms of everyone being exempt, because, of course, what's the point in having the rules if everybody is exempt? Where we are is that we're looking at critical sectors, and we're going to be providing guidance very soon.
You say critical sectors, that doesn't sound like, and that may well involve the police, who we know are suffering disruption potentially as well, and aspects of the National Health Service and others, and energy companies. But we're talking about a much wider issue here. We're talking about millions of people. Surely it's not sustainable that things like factories and supermarkets, are facing these difficulties. Many want the government to act now.
I accept that it's a challenging situation, but what we've done throughout this whole period is look at dates and see if we could land them, and we did largely. On the 21st of June, we did extend that to the 19th of July, and we lifted restrictions on the 19th of July. What doesn't work is simply just changing dates willy-nilly from a knee-jerk reaction. We've got a plan, and I suggest that we stick to it.
Let's move on, if we can, away from the pandemic, which is clearly having an impact, and talk about NHS pay, because welcome news for some this morning, that 3% rise. Many saying it doesn't go far enough. But where's the money going to come from? 3% is an awful lot of money for NHS workers in the current times. Do we know where the money's going to come from?
So, I've said this earlier today, actually. One of the things that I think has been really encouraging has been the fact that as I look at business, as I look at the economic picture, we've had a lot more growth than we predicted at the beginning of the year. And that means that our tax revenues are greater than we thought. So as a consequence of that, a lot of this extra expenditure has come through the fact that the economy is recovering faster than we thought.
But in saying that, it does look like even with that 3% rate rise, the government may be looking at possible strike action or disruption this summer, because it does look like that's not going to go ahead. That could come at a quite difficult time, given the NHS is already pretty strained. Have you got contingency plans in place to deal with this potential?
We're talking to people all the time. I mean, I'm hopeful that there won't be any industrial action, but of course, if there is, the people, we will have to deal with that situation. I don't think it'll come to that. Clearly, there was a lot of upset when the 1% was suggested, I think, in April. We said very clearly that we'd go to an independent pay review. The independent pay review has come back with the 3% figure, and we're happy to stick with that. And I think I'm hopeful that will be accepted.
And just very finally, we've got you, Business Secretary, just talk about Brexit a little bit. Quite a significant moment yesterday from the UK government. But frankly, you must understand, surely, the frustration in Dublin, in Brussels, elsewhere. Indeed, we heard in Washington overnight that this is a UK government that signed up to an agreement, 6, 7, 8 months ago, and now wants to change it. We knew what was going to happen with the protocol. It's not new. We were warned about this. Frankly, is this not kind of perfidious Albion again, that, a Britain that signs up to a deal 1 minute and then turns around and tries to change it the next?
I don't think it's, as you say, perfidious Albion. I think it's common sense. I think we had a deal. We've seen how the effects of the deal have operated in Northern Ireland, and we want to see if we can smooth the process. And I think it's entirely reasonable to open up a conversation with our EU counterparts to see if we can get a better working of the Northern Ireland border.
Well, we'll have to see how those negotiations work out. Of course, the EU have rejected what's been planned.
But they always do. I mean, we were told that they would reject a renegotiated deal. We were told that we would never get a deal. They always start off in this position. Let's see where we get to at the end of the conversation.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.